addiction. I think we can all agree that it's a horrible thing, but more of us are on it than we think. Hello everybody, and welcome to GetUsFree.com, a blog and YouTube channel dedicated to showing how current events are slowly eroding away our freedoms and how we can take them back. This video's topic, entitlements, an addiction for the masses, and not just for the users. I've said in a previous video that America is no longer a country that solves its problem through innovative thinking or logical method. Instead, we choose to make our decisions based on how we feel about a situation and ignore the possible implications of stubbornly standing on principle at the expense of reality. We all seem perfectly willing to let this country disintegrate in the name of helping the less fortunate. The core of this is our entitlement program, which any economist will tell you is a huge bloated leech sucking the lifeblood out of this country. More than half of our annual budget is dedicated to this monstrosity, and our current income doesn't even cover that. That means that even if we cut every other program except for entitlements, including things like the defense budget, we would still be running a deficit. Despite this fact, liberals refuse to back off on things like Social Security and Medicare because we shouldn't put those poor people out in the cold. The unfortunate truth is that entitlements are an addiction, just like marijuana and cocaine, and not just for the people who are receiving them. For many who benefit from this program, they get free money for nothing. And as they get used to not having to work for what they receive, they become more and more dependent on the system as the skills they used to have degrade to the point of uselessness, and nobody will hire them. At least not for the jobs that they want to do. On the other side, the people who provide for them get a massive high off the great feeling that they get for doing the right thing. They say, "How dare you want to take money from old Granny?" ignoring the fact that old Granny could have afforded these things all on her own had she bothered to save up for her retirement. They say, "We should be helping those who can't help themselves," ignoring the fact that many of these people failed to take school seriously when they were younger and are now unemployable. Liberals don't want to look at the ugly truth that, in most cases, where we are in our lives is the consequences of the choices we made in the past. They say everyone deserves a chance to make it in this country, and we should provide that for them. But the truth is that they've already been given many chances to succeed and failed to utilize them. Now, I'm not personally religious at all, but my wife shared a story that loosely pertains to this. A man is walking over a bridge when he suddenly trips and falls over. A boat comes up and the crew says, "Need any help?" And the man replies, "Nope, God will save me." So the first boat leaves and a second boat comes up and the crew says, "Need any help?" And the man replies, "Nope, God will save me." Finally, a third boat comes up and says, "Do you need any help?" And the man says, "No, God will save me." And the third boat goes away. About an hour later, the man drowns, and now he's in heaven. He asked God, "God, why didn't you save me?" And God said, "I did. I sent you 3 boats, didn't I?" This is like most of those who benefit from our entitlement system. When they were young, they were all offered the opportunity through our public school system to get an education that could take them to college and beyond. But due to laziness, lack of interest, or just bad parenting, they failed at school and are now unemployable. Boat number 1. Those who did make it through school and college ended up adopting a "what do I want right now" philosophy, spend all their money, fail to save for the future, and then when they get old, don't have anything left to live on. Boat number 2. Finally, the people who make it into the entitlement system are given a second chance, or a third chance, to get their lives in order so that they can try to make a bright future for themselves. But rather than looking for legitimate work, they get used to the easy government-provided life and just stagnate there. Boat number 3. The more people that get into the entitlement system, the more the taxpayers have to give up to support it, until the taxpayers have nothing left to give. So the question we should be asking is this. If we keep spending more than we make trying to fund these entitlement programs, what happens when the money finally runs out? And it will run out. No one can keep borrowing indefinitely, and you can't boost the economy and increase tax revenue until people start spending more, which isn't going to happen as long as the people who drive the economy, i.e. business owners, the rich, are being taxed into laying off their workers. Because let's face it, regardless of the regulations that liberals will try to cram down their throats, businesses are in business for one reason and one reason alone: profit. The more you tax them, the less profit they're making, and the more people they will have to fire to keep that profit where it was before you tax them in the first place. They don't care about your ideals, and why should they? Ideology is not going to give them financial security for the future. Ideology just costs too much. Once the money runs out, funding for our entitlement system will be a moot point. Not only will we not be able to fund the lazy moochers who work the system for their own advantage? We won't be able to help the truly needy either. Failing to reform the entitlement system right now will result in the total absence of any entitlement at all in the future. Just like everything in life, it isn't a matter of doing the right thing. It's a matter of choosing between the lesser of two evils. Because in life, in real life, you will always have to accept a little bit of evil to survive. I hope you will share this video with your friends, and I also hope that you will visit my blog at www.getusfree.com, where I post articles very similar to this one on a range of topics. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you have a great day.